Hey, all, Rick here from Hamilton Sports Central, and we are live as we have a doubleheader today. As the first game, we have the Edmonton Elks at the Alouettes, followed by the Hamilton at BC Lions in 4 hours' time. But today we have Davis Alexander, 22 of 34, 20, and 3 touchdowns last week versus Ottawa, going up against Cody Fajardo and the Elks, who is 71.9 completion percentage, 2,577 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, as they are in Montreal to take on the Alouettes. Philpott, 64 receptions, 1,023 yards, 424 yak yards, and 4 touchdowns. Philpott against the secondary. And then not only Ford versus Philpott, but then you got Rankin versus Tice. Fajardo versus Alexander. Philpott is 96.5 yards over under. And an anytime touchdown. Don't want to rain on your parade. Can Rankin rebound after his last few horrible starts? Marshall Ferguson and Dwayne Ford are calling the early game today. As we go to commercial. Ali Batchman says, who do I have today? As an East team fan, I'm going to say Elks. Do I hope Montreal wins? No. I'd rather Edmonton win. Because then, if we look at the standings, it will... I mean, yeah, Hamilton's 8 points out of first. But if... At what point... Because right now, Toronto is 6 points out of first. At what point does it take Montreal to clinch down first and them not playing players? So, it will be interesting to say the least. Calgary's already played 9 games. NBC's only played 7. That's ridiculous. Mind you, that's about right, because if Montreal hits 30 today, they'll be at 200-ish. But they're almost at like 400 points. Man, just only if Bo never got injured. Then it wouldn't be as bad. Good old TV commercials. Can't live with them and can't live without them. Why does this keep on rebooting? I know it's at 1%. Turn it off so that you can charge. Judy Wood of BC and see if you can win. $1 million. Good luck, Judy. We'll have to get crack-lacking. Spicy, spicy, spicy Saturday. Cheer on the Elks today. Yeah, it's not picking up in the... Mark Hillam is 6-2 this season, 3-1 on the road. And Montreal is going to be starting with the ball. Blanchard kicks off for 68 yards to Montreal 12. Dedman returns it for 21 yards to Montreal 33. Smith with the tackle. Alexander passes complete to Speaker for 14 yards to Montreal 47. Johnson with the tackle. Tice rushes for 4 yards to the Montreal 51. DeBlanco with the tackle. Alexander passes to Philpott for 10 yards. Nick Anderson with the tackle. Alexander passes to Tice for 10 yards. Logan Jr. with the tackle. It's going to be a first down. Alouettes. Alexander passes to Speaker for 4 yards to Edmonton 35. Malik Carney with the tackle. Alexander passes Baker for 7 yards to Edmonton 28. Williams with the tackle. And throws an interception. So Snead throws an interception to Tyrell Ford. So it's not Alexander who gets knocked out with the Alexander. So 10:48 in the first quarter left to go. Bum, 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 bum. Rankin rushes for 17 yards to the Edmonton 47. Boschman with the tackle. Fajardo rushes for 10 yards to the Montreal 53. Lorenzo Burns with the tackle. No, who is... I'll look at the next TV commercial. Fajardo throws incomplete to Keon Julian Grant, so it's 2nd and 10. Fajardo rushes for 6 yards to Montreal 47. Tyrell Richards with the tackle. As Edmonton punts, there's a flag on the field. Oh, it's a no yards penalty against Edmonton. Okay, well, it's commercial. Who did? Oh, so they've only lost Edmonton. They lost in Edmonton in overtime. Now they're playing them again. Julian punts 37 yards to the Montreal 10. Dedman returns it. Alexander throws incomplete. 2nd and 10. Alexander passes to Tice, but it's not enough for a first down, so it's going to punting unit for Montreal is going to be coming out. Zima punts 51 yards to the Edmonton 7. Leak returns it for 15 yards to the Edmonton 22. Rankin rushes for 13 yards to the Edmonton 35. Terrell Richards with the tackle. Rankin rushes for another 5 yards to the Edmonton 40. Fajardo passes to Brendan Larry Orange for 9 yards to the Edmonton 49. Terrell Richards with the tackle. Bergerdo passes incomplete to Griffith. It's 2nd and 10. Bergerdo passes to Julian Grant for 8 yards to Montreal 53. Boschman with the tackle. Jake Julian's coming out to punt once again. And Montreal with the block punt. But there's a flag on the play, so we'll have to wait till we see what the flag is after the commercial break. So Montreal starts at the Edmonton 53. And Alexander passes to Sneed for 32 yards to the Edmonton 21. Alexander passes to Sneed again for 11 yards to Edmonton 10. Brinkman with the tackle. Alexander pass incomplete to Speaker at the Edmonton 5-yard line. So it's 2nd and 10 at the Edmonton 10. Alexander rushes in for the touchdown for the 10 yards. We have tech. Oh. .58 seconds left in the first quarter. Surprised that Andre Prue's not doing today's game since it's in Montreal. But a time count violation for Montreal, so they go back 10 yards. So they kick off from the Montreal 20. Maltos kicks off for 74 yards to Edmonton 16. Leak returns it for 31 yards to the Edmonton 47. Fajardo throws incomplete to Julian Grant, so it's going to be 2nd and 10. Fajardo throws to Austin Mack for 11 yards to the Montreal 52. Robert Kennedy with the tackle, so it's going to be a first down, Elks. League rushes for 5 yards to the Montreal 47. Lorenzo Burns with the tackle. So that will end the first quarter as Montreal leads 7 to nothing after one. And Edmonton starts the second quarter with a 2nd and 5 from the Montreal's 47. Bum, 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 bum. So, since today's the last day of week 10, let's take a look at week 11. So, we have BC at Calgary on Thursday, Ottawa at Winnipeg, Toronto at Edmonton, and then Sask at Hamilton. And then the week after that is the CNE game between Hamilton and Toronto. Ottawa's at Montreal. Winnipeg's at Edmonton. Then Hamilton at Toronto and Saskatchewan at BC. All right. Edmonton has 80 net yards, whereas Montreal has 106. Edmonton has 6 minutes and 39 seconds time of possession, and Montreal has 8 minutes and 21. Fajardo passes to Julian Grant for 8 yards to the Montreal 39. Hicks with the tackle, so it's going to be a first down. Montreal, or Edmonton, sorry. Fajardo passes to Keon Julian Grant for 16 yards, so it's going to be another first down, Elks. League rushes for 7 yards to the Montreal 16. Charles Richards with the tackle, so it's going to be 2nd and 3. Red zone this season for Edmonton, they're 46.7 or 47.6%. There's a late flag on the play. Face mask Montreal. So League rushed for 2 yards. He needed 3. And Berglund with the tackle, but because of Archibald's face mask. Second and goal from the Montreal 1. Previous play is under review. I thought it was a touchdown. Oh, so yeah, so they did say it was a touchdown. So we have a touchdown by the Elks. Do. Virginia 5 for 8, 52 yards. Alexander 8 for 10, 92. So one team has a rushing game, one team has a passing game. Or I should say, one team has a passing game, and the other team has a balanced game. Because Edmonton has 114 net offense, whereas Montreal has 106. Blanchard kicks off for 65 yards to Montreal 15. Deadman returns for 39 yards to Montreal 54. Robbie Smith with the tackle. Alexander passes to Philpott for 7 yards to Edmonton 49. Nick Anderson with the tackle. Logan Jr. is the injured Elk on the. Baker rushes for 3 yards to the Edmonton 46. Baker rushes for 3 yards. Brinkman with the tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and inches. Wilson rushes for 1 yard to the Edmonton 45 for the first down. Tice rushes for 5 yards to Edmonton 40-yard line to Blanco with the tackle. So 2nd and 5. Alexander passes Baker for 9 yards to the Edmonton 31. Jackson with the tackle, so it's going to be a first down. Alouettes. Alexander passes to Tice for 27 yards to Edmonton 4. Alexander with the tackle. Fox, the injured player on the field. Yeah, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, yeah. House of the Dragons. Stream now. Only on Pride. Tice rushes for a 2-yard loss to Edmonton 6. Noah Curtis with the tackle. Alexander passes to Philpott for 6 yards for a touchdown. I mean, Lane, that's what happens when you have games. I don't know. For some reason, games are always slow in the first half, and they always seem to pick up in the second half. Not sure why that is, but that seems to be the goal for this year. Save. Already an hour into today's live stream, we already have 50 viewers. Let's go. I've talked to him in person. He's not the greatest person to chat with, Phil Pot. Maltos kicks off for 64 yards to Edmonton 16. Leak returns for 21 yards to the Edmonton 37. Rankin rushes for 20 yards to the Montreal 53. Corrales with the tackle. Big plays this season, 3.6 per game for Edmonton. Verdretto passes the Mac for 8 yards to the Montreal 45. Burns with the tackle. Rankin has 4 carries for 55 yards so far this game. Edmonton 2nd and 2 from the Montreal 45. Flag on the play. Holding Edmonton on the offense. Penalty declined. It's going to be third down. And Rankin had a 1 yard loss. Julian punts 37 yards to Montreal 9. Deadman returns it for 4 yards to Montreal 13. Bahomey with the tackle. Travis Tice rushes for 3 yards to the Montreal 16. Fox with the tackle. Alexander throws an interception. Terrell Ford has his second interception of the game. Alexander throws an interception caught by Ford at the Montreal 36, returns it for 30 yards to the Montreal 6. Touchdown, Edmonton. Fajardo passes to Luther for the touchdown. Just like that, we have a tied game. Being reviewed now after being So it's an incomplete pass. So it's second and 6. Second and goal. Fajardo passes incomplete. So that's gonna be a turning point. Three-minute warning. Isidore says, "Let's go Eskimos." Isidore, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm wearing an Elks hat. I'm cheering for the Elks. Even though I picked Montreal in my pick'ems, I'm still cheering for the Elks today. Well, we have a commercial. I just want to say this live stream is proudly sponsored by KPHR Radio, Hamilton's home for classic rock. If you love legendary rock anthems, great on-air personalities, and community-focused program, please tune into KPHR Radio. Listen live and discover their shows, music, and more by visiting katradiogroup.ca. And thank you to KPHR Radio for supporting the Hamilton Sports Central and helping bring to you today's live coverage. Antlers calls for Cardibo beer. Cheers. I don't have any alcohol here, but cheers. Going for it on 3rd and 5. And Fajardo throws the Cypus, so it will eventually be a touchdown. The Cypus. I don't know why I say Cypus, but Cypus. That's an elk. Antlers up. Antlers up. Touchdown for touchdown. Edmonton gets the ball to start the second half. 15-yard penalty for unnecessary roughness will be applied on the kickoff. 6-2 Elks versus the 7-1 Alouettes. So they'll kick off from the Edmonton 15. The Carbio antlers are the wild ones. I try to mix that beer in there as it's green and Canadian, like the team. So natural fit, except for the antlers. They're Alex. But if you Elks beer would sell. You know what you need to get, Isadora, is you need to get antlers on the side of a cup. Then it can be Elks beer. So Tyson Philpott leads the league with 1,000. You know what? We'll just look at it at halftime. Blanchard kicks off for 74 yards to the Montreal 21. Dedman returns it for 26 yards to Montreal 47. And Tice rushes for 21 yards to Edmonton 42. Malik Carney with the tackle. Oh yeah, that's a Canadian solution for sure. Good one. Yeah. I mean, why not? Just put fake antlers on the cup. Antler, or I was gonna say antlers pass the ball. Alexander passes the ball to Philpott for 9 yards to Edmonton 33. Ford with the tackle. That'd be funny if antlers passed the ball. Yeah, it doesn't have to be glass or plastic. It can just sell them out west, and I'm sure a lot of people would buy them, especially where there's hunting. 2nd and 1 at the Edmonton 33. Yes, I was thinking the same thing with Rocky and Bullwinkle. Or Travis Tice rushes for 24 yards to Edmonton 9. Malik Carney went to tackle. Or Dave Cluche, where you would go like this on Full House. Tice has 6 carries and 55 yards so far in this game. Alexander passes to Philpott for yet another touchdown for 9 yards. CFL swag. Get your horny cups here. Another touchdown. We got elk, caribou, and a moose. Pick a team. Yes. Doesn't matter which team, just pick a team. Winnipeg would have to be Moosehorn, BC Elk, Calgary 2. What am I at for fantasy this week? 121 yards. Let's go. Oh, they probably all went with BC and Ticats. And what am I? Maltos kicks off for 64 yards to Edmonton 16. Leak returns for 22 yards to the Edmonton 38. Archibald with the tackle. Edmonton Caribou does fit best. Montreal has Eastern Walkland Elk. Ottawa would be Moose 2. Then there's Hamilton. Well, it's funny because in Dundas, which is like a 25-minute drive from here, they have signs on the side of the road for Turtle Watch. Turtles. Where are you going to see turtles walking across the street in a city? Like, Fajardo passes to Mac for 13 yards to Edmonton 51. Goodry with the tackle, and then he throws to Austin Mack again for 7 yards to Edmonton 52. Caught in the headlights on the 401 isn't a good place for deer. Oh, turtles. Poor little guys. I mean, considering that I'm from Canada, but I work for American companies, of how many Americans actually hit deers with their cars. Fajardo passes to Brendan Larry Orange for 12 yards to the Montreal 40. Bushman with the tackle. And then Fajardo throws incomplete to Brendan Larry Orange, shot 2nd and 10 at the Montreal 40. Lots of cornfields around Cambridge, so I'd imagine that, yeah. It's weird because like where I am, Fajardo rushes for 13 yards for a first down to the Montreal 27. So in my area, we have wild foxes that chase bunnies. Fajardo passes it incomplete to Luther in the end zone, so it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the Montreal 27. Oh, Luther was wide open, and he dropped it. It was wide open, and he dropped it. Fajardo passes the Mac for 9 yards to Montreal 18. Lorenzo Burns with the tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. That's a great idea for the left hand laser guy to use his beer can holders. He's on Facebook, quite the character. Fajardo's pass that they're coming on to kick the field goal. Blanchard kicks a field goal for 25 yards. So it's 17-21, and Edmonton gets the ball to start the second half. Tice rushes for 3 yards to the Montreal 43. Brinkman with the tackle. The Elks have been drinking the oil. I guess they have been drinking the oil. That double E is better. Alexander passes to Sneed for 56 yards to Edmonton 11. DeBlanco with the tackle. Three seconds left. And Maltos kicks another field goal. Interesting. So a quick 3 points will give him a 7-point lead heading into halftime. Could we do a bobblehead count? be honest. I probably have one, which is like a George Springer one. I'm going to a Jays game in a couple of weeks for the Buck Martinez one. But I will be right back. I am back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Just had to go throw some food into the air fryer. Straight fire. Sorry, I meant the bobblehead protectors. Oh, yeah. I think it's cool. It would be an interesting sign if they all wore them. Maybe we could see the numbers on the bobbleheads from the nosebleeds. The bobblehead games. So first half stats: Cody Fajardo 11 of 18, 107, one touchdown. Justin Rankin 5 carries for 54 yards. Cody Fajardo 4 carries for 30 yards, one touchdown. Javon Leake 3 carries for 14 yards. Austin Mack 5 for 5 for 48 yards. Keon Julian Grant 3 for 6 for 32. Brandon Larry 2 for 3 for 21. Joshua Sipus 1 for 1 for 6 yards and a touchdown. Thera's name for the Halifax team would be the Bobbleheads. They play all their games wrapped up, yeah. Luther's 0 for 2, and Skylar Griffith is 0 for 1. Nick Anderson and Joel DeBlanco, Jared Brinkman, and Malik Kearney, a four-way tie for tackles. No sacks. Terrell Ford has 2 interceptions. No forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries. Vincent Blanchard's 1 for 1 for field goals, longest is 25. 2 extra points. And that is it for Edmonton. For Montreal, Davis Alexander's 15 for 18, 215 yards. 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Tyler Snead, 0 for 1, 1 interception. Travis Tice, 7 carries for 58 yards, no touchdowns. Davis Alexander, 1 carry for 10 yards, 1 touchdown. Rushawn Baker, 1 carry for 3 yards, 0 touchdowns. Terry Wilson, 1 carry for 1 yard. Tyler Snead, 3 for 3 for 99 yards. Travis Tice, 3 for 3 for 41 yards. Tyson Philpott, 5 for 6 for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cole Speaker, 4 for 6 for 34 yards. And Jacob Mason, 0 for 1 for 0 yards. Lorenzo Burns and Terrell Richards each lead with 5 defensive tackles. No sacks, no interceptions, 1 fumble recovery by Donovan Manuel. Jose Maltos, 1 for 1 for field goals, 3 extra points. His longest field goal is 20 yards, and that's all she wrote for Montreal. I trick play most of it. So basically what it was, Isidore, is Alexander passed it to, who was it? Passed it to someone here. And then they passed it to Snead, and Snead threw it down the field and threw an interception. That was the first Terrell Ford interception. That was at the first quarter. That was Montreal 4. Let's see if I can find... let's pull it over on the screen. See if... Do they have... Okay, so here I'll show you here. Is it over here? Here's the interception. Oh, let me go to the beginning. This is the interception. So Philpott to Sneed, and then Sneed threw it downfield, and Ford caught the interception. That was that interception that Sneed had. How's fantasy doing for me this week? 42 points as a captain, 21 for Philpott. 125, let's go. A flea flicker interception, yeah, I guess you could call it that. Logan Jr. for the Elks is out for the game. In the zone, that's defense. Oh yeah, in the end zone, yeah. Threw up a duck. Did it go quack 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 as it was landing? Reminds me of the Donald Duck where he's flying and the hunters start shooting him. Or the old Nintendo Duck Hunt. Maltos kicks off for 67 yards to Edmonton 13. Leak returns it for 22 yards to Edmonton 35. Flea's got to come out with the ball. Yeah, hopefully Edmonton has a better second half. Fajardo throws to Mac for 12 yards to the Edmonton 47. Ento with the tackle. Bad news for the Ducks. What's the bad news? I'd like to know what the bad news is for the Ducks. There's a flag on the play. Rankin rushes for 12 yards to Montreal 51. Lorenzo Burns with the tackle. However, there's Jordan Murray, former Ticat, has a hold. 10 yards, so they go back from the 47 to the 37. Oh yeah, duck hut. Yeah. So replay of first down and back 10 yards. Mac was already down with the football. But Mac was down by contact. So he was down with the ball. He got it. Or he did have it anyways. Fajardo passes to Mac for 6 yards, but he fumbled it, and Green recovered it. Tice rushes it for 1 yard to the Edmonton 42. Nick Anderson with the tackle. Second down conversions today. Montreal is 7 for 10 for 70% on second down. Second and 9 at the Edmonton 42. Alexander passes to Phil Pott for 10 yards to Edmonton 32. Garns with the tackle, so it's going to be a first down. Alouettes. Alexander passes to Sneed for 32 yards for a touchdown. As they now will lead by 2 scores if they get this extra point. Oops, cheering for the wrong team. Yeah, apparently. Apparently we are. Anyway. 257 yards off of 17 of. I will take that from my fantasy. 54. Let's go. I thought I was already at 116. So I'm 31 points away from first place. 31 points. Oh, okay, so he had Keyshawn Johnson as his captain. Another day at the office. I love those. No, so Austin Mack fumbled the ball. Great way to know the players. Yeah, I'm in week fantasy leagues and season long fantasy leagues. PW. I mean, they might down the road. Yeah, with me going to a lot of training camp and games and practices and that, you get to know the players' wives and stuff like that off field. Maltos kicks off for 69 yards to the Edmonton 11. Leak returns for 33 yards to the Edmonton 44. Jonathan Sutherland with the tackle. Like I've met Legio, um, Jamal Peterson's wife. I've met out of football. Gordon White, Michael Otway. I've met outside of football. There's, you know what? To be honest with you, there's a lot of CFL people that are great people outside of football, and then there's a lot of cocky people that it's just like, why you gotta be such a prick type thing. So, a little bit of both in the league. Yeah, I mean, you get to learn about their families and their children and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Like my buddy Carter, we do player interviews in the off season on that football channel, and you get to, we've we've interviewed a bunch of players in the CFL. Um, Sean White, Jared Brinkman, Tyler Chanowski, Michael Alway. Probably some players from each team. And you just get to know them on a personal. They're pretty cool. Cody Fajardo passes to Cephas for 8 yards to Edmonton 52, second and 2. Robert Kennedy with the tackle. Second down conversions for today for Edmonton 6 for 11 for 54.5%. Rankin rushes for 5 yards to the Montreal 53. First down, Elks. Berglund with the tackle. Rankin rushes again for 3 yards to the Montreal 30. Archibald with the tackle, so second and 7. And Fajardo throws an interception to Beverett. Rankin was wide open to your right. and you would have gotten the 7 yards. And you throw into double coverage. What is wrong with some of these teams? So there is a bit of a Hall of Fame. It's in the Hamilton Stadium on the 4th floor. Alexander passes a Philpott for 9 yards to the Montreal 37-yard line. Paul Donato with the tackle. So you see, like, you'll have, the, if you ever see the Hall of Fame game on TSN or in person, the heads of the Hall of Fame people will be in the Hall of Fame. And then you'll have, like, the old jerseys, old cleats, and things like that. I suggest they make it moving roadshow for the next 8 years to promote the game in each city. So they actually, Isidore, I don't know if you know, but there's actually a day. What day is it? On September 12th, I call it Football Day in Canada. They actually have 4 CFL games that day. 1, 4, 7, and 10. They have that day. And in September, you have high school football going on, so I guess you could promote high school football that day. Tice rushes for 9 yards to the Montreal 51. Morganson with the tackle. Did I take? Yeah. Okay, so I did take Montreal this week in pickups. Wilson rushes for 4 yards to the Edmonton 45. It's gonna be a first down, Alouettes. Alexander passes to Snead for 15 yards to Edmonton 30. Williams with the tackle. Our colleges are in trouble if the students get paid to play and learn downside. Kind of brain drain scenario, I think. Alright, let's go Eskimos. Kind of like the Rough Riders yesterday. Alexander passes incomplete to Philpott, so it's 2nd and 10. Twin successful in football. Do you not know that Trey Ford has not been successful yet? Alexander pass incomplete to Speaker, so it's going to be 3rd and 10 at the Edmonton 30. Maltos kicks a 38-yard field goal. This game is long over. Because I do not see Edmonton making a comeback in the 4th quarter. Dang, 163 views. Let's go, folks. Just see what's going on in either nation. Okay, so not notified down. Sulfies, I believe that should be playing for 7-11 dominate. And even with the Devils had the trenches drop into the more business side. The year with the weaker teams in Finland than last year. Almost replaced what it sounds like he's been. Farmer jumps. Fajardo passes it back for 11 yards to the Edmonton 51. Burns with the tackle. Go to five.
I think at this point, perhaps you may see the Elks try to look to push that ball down the field a little bit if they can get that Alouette defense to jump some of the shorter stuff.
Fajardo throws incomplete to Luther, so it's 2nd and 10. Fajardo rushes for 10 yards to the Montreal 49, first down.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation to me for defensive players because obviously they are so aware of protecting quarterbacks, not hitting a guy who's sliding. And I think it is, you see the two Alouette defenders in front of Cody Fajardo and Ento with Guidry. I think they're both anticipating a slide, so they don't want to hit him. But Cody's not sliding. Cody's trying to get to the first down marker. It just puts defensive players in such a bind because of the penalty.
Fajardo passes to Max, incomplete. 50 points. It's quite possible if there's still another quarter to play. Watch these Elks drop the ball. Pretty quick offense. There we go. Okay, so first down, drop, incomplete. First down, incomplete. So this one's going to be a first down.
Well-established players, important parts for going forward. And you see the depth of this team with guys just stepping up, making plays down the road there.
I told you it's going to be a first down. So if this repeats itself, the next one will be an incomplete pass.
Yeah, we've seen O'Leary Orange a few times work in the middle of the field here. Gets off a little bit of contact right at the line of scrimmage, just fighting into that open space over the middle. Towering target for Cody Fajardo.
Ooh, Fajardo passes to Austin Mack. Broke up my theory. But there's a flag on the play.
Late one here at the end of the play. Preparing to go against the defense here. I'm not sure if there's been contact on Fajardo. Illegal block, hits the face. Montreal 90, number 90. 10-yard penalty. Will be first down.
Hands to the face. So it's a 10 So it's a penalty, 10 yards. So that means that it should be down to the 29-yard line to start the third quarter, or fourth quarter. But with that being said, I will be back. I'm going to get a drink. right back.
defense to create a 2-and-out after a good first down play. Again, the importance of tackling,
Ooh, they got a rouge.
limiting Travis Trice's
They
ability
got a
to
rouge.
run.
Tice rushes for 2 yards, and then Alexander throws incomplete. 3rd and 8.
And this is the benefit of second and long. You're going to see the Alouettes at the line of scrimmage
Ryan Dirty 12 talk.
send all sorts of
When you say these guys, are you talking about Elks?
Ferdinand
You talking about Alouettes, or are you talking about both?
that we're going to send enough heat that he's going to have to get the ball out of his hands quickly. No routes are going to get behind us. We're going to come forward and make a play on the throw.
Came after it, tried to get a block on Joseph Zima, but couldn't. Javon Lee will watch this one dribble over his head.
Oh,
Roll into the end zone.
no, Edmonton gives up the single.
Quick knee. 35-18. Single restored on the other side. 11:41 remaining in the fourth quarter. And Cody Fajardo, plenty of work to do if he wants to beat his old club here on the road.
How they're in second place? Everyone has a bad game. I have no idea. I know Montreal's good, but Edmonton can't pass an eye test. I mean, I guess everyone has their bad games. I mean, Edmonton beat Montreal, but it was in overtime. Montreal will win this one. And then Montreal will either play Sask or Edmonton in the Grey Cup. Is my prediction. The thing is, Ryan Dirty, season only predicts where you start for the playoffs. When it comes to playoffs, you just got to win one game, and that's it. If you can win the one game, you're good. If you don't, then you're out of the playoffs. This just determines where you seed for the playoffs, if you make playoffs.
Blocked at the back. Takes the point off the board here. The officials sort things through. By the way, I reached out to June Jones on Harrison Frost. He said he had him in the XFL in 20.
During the previous play, we had a legal block, Edmonton number 90. We're going to apply that penalty at the 15-yard line, back half the distance, no point. It'll be first down for Edmonton at the 7.5.
Well explained. Justin McKinnis is the bottom right of your screen.
So no point.
And a little wallop into the back.
Yeah.
Just a little chuck. A little Hubert shove. June Jones, the
And they started at the 8.
said, Harrison Frost, I knew he was my best guy in Seattle in 23 with the XFL. And when they folded, he's like, I knew he was going to end up coming up for us. Knew he had the game for us, so we're going to look at him tonight against the BC Lions. But great to have Nathan Rourke back in the fold as well. And as the Lions try to mount a charge in the West against these Edmonton Elks, the Saskatchewan Roughriders as well. Calgary playing at a high level.
We talked from the start of this season about how parity would like to be a theme in the CFL this year.
Start a little bit behind TJ Luther. He makes the best of it. Nice sideline to sideline play by Tyrese Beverett. Let's begin a look at the
Fajardo passed to Luther for 6 yards.
a strange year for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers with all the home success that they have had in the past, but still look at where they are at this point in the season. And with
Fajardo passes to Brennan Larry Orange for a first down at the Edmonton 33. Fajardo throws incomplete to Austin Mack. And it's going to be a turnover on downs, I think. Oh no, it's now third down. Julian punts 51 yards to the Montreal 26. Denman returns it for 9 yards to the Montreal 35. Yeah, 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 So there's 8:42 left in this game, and then at 7 o'clock Eastern, we're gonna have our beloved Ticats against the BC Lions. Terrell Ford, 2 interceptions today. Davis Alexander, 3 touchdowns today. Alexander passes to Philpott for 8 yards to Montreal 43. What's Davis? Well, Fajardo's only at 180 yards. Damn. Alexander's only at 289. That's it. Tice is only at 84 yards. Sneed's at 146. Dang. Well, theirs is That's the 95. As Slice rushes for 11 yards to the Montreal 54.
Tice, a little bit of patience here. Set up. Now look, Tyler Sneed, world's slowest fullback, leading the way for Travis Tice.
You know what? I would be interested in a Dwayne Ford ranking of the smallest fullbacks. It's niche content that the whole country needs.
Tice rushes for another 5 yards to the Edmonton 51.
Not in the lineup. Would not qualify. Big man. And still trying to leave this time for Travis Tice. Trying to do hard tackles again. Pulled the blank out, frustrated on that one as he just couldn't get enough from Tice.
Alouettes giving a little bit of a full house look in their backfield. Tice, Jacob Mason, Tyler Sneed in there as well.
Interesting as well. The four horsemen of the Alouettes. Who are they throwing back there? They got plenty of bodies. His own this time. Looks like Pierre-Olivier Lestage might have been a little quick out of his stance.
Procedure, Montreal, number 66. 5-yard penalty, remain second down.
Penalty on Montreal for 5 yards for procedure. Okay, offside on the offense.
A solid reset to try and save the day.
Procedure,
But Lestage, one of the best on a dominant unit. That face mask tells you everything you need to know about his game. Paint peeling off the metal. Alexander with a deep drop as Montreal controls, and Alexander wants the home run. What a
No, it's just embarrassing them now. Alexander passes to Tyson Philpott for 56 yards for a touchdown, not Tice. It's Philpott.
Terrific protection, which you need on the deep routes. Allow them time to develop. Great adjustment to the play to that football. Tyson Philpott. Third touchdown of the day for the CFL's leading receiver.
So Tice has 100 rushing yards. Philpott has 3 touchdowns, 124.
This crowd speaks for itself. On days like this, the 7-1 Alouettes headed for their 8th victory. And then 3 of them majors for the unstoppable Tyson Philpott.
68 points as a captain. Let's go. 39 for Philpott. 170. And I took first place. Do. Who am I playing this week? Is a good question.
Tyson Philpott, the man of the moment.
I am.
Bring it in a little bit, then take it further forward. And I wrote down most of the Edmonton secondary was anticipating on the slant portion of that.
I am playing. Ooh.
Just never broke stride, accelerated. As he turns it into his own right. Davis Alexander hits him on the fly. Just fantastic. Catch, Jason Moss. Absolutely loving it. Yeah, Burns getting the jump on the ball. Trying to hit this
The Elks must have got stuck in that Poutine halftime flatline.
inside position.
That's the fantasy name, eh? Halftime flatline.
Automatic first down for Edmonton.
Really?
Challenging the previous ruling on the field of pass interference. Play will be
Really, Moss? You're up by 41-18 and you're challenged to play? Like, really?
The receiver to get to the ball, but I really thought that Burns got positioned in front of Austin
Really?
Mack on this one as we'll take another look. There's Burns out on the quarterback. The intended receiver.
Like, why do you need to challenge a play? You're already freaking smoking them.
Quarterback, so he's anticipating this. Does he bump the receiver off his route, or is he just there first? Right. Discuss amongst yourselves.
Well, they are at the replay center right now, and Jason Moss, ever the competitor, with a 41-18 lead. No matter if there's 5:21 remaining or 0.1 remaining, he's going to throw the challenge flag if he disagrees with the call. As Davis Alexander continues to enjoy the environment. Career high 4 touchdowns. Davis Alexander, as we have the call, Justin McKinnis, our referee.
After review by the replay center, the call on the field has been overturned. There is no defensive pass interference. It's going to be second down.
So, no defensive pass interference and 2nd and 10. At the Edmonton 38.
Fajardo looks downfield. Caught TJ Luther. Just across
Fajardo passes to TJ Luther for 18 yards to the Montreal 54.
for a gain of 18.
Luther, as you mentioned earlier.
Looks like it's right on the line for the over-under if it was 59.5. To be honest, I mean, what was it? It was...
Losing his footing. This is Austin Mack. Thought he got pulled down by Lorenzo Burns as their battle continues on this run.
I was going to say, Max, they just
I don't know what the actual starting was for this. I should have looked.
battle that no doubt took place a lot in practice over the last year or so in Montreal.
Edmonton is challenging the previous play for defensive pass interference. Play will be reviewed.
Here, I think the offense has
Oh, no. The Edmonton coach is just fishing now. at this point.
awkward gathering of the feet, but probably enough contact before the football was there. It'll change things up.
Take a look here and see how they're. Birds kind of has it wrapped up before the ball arrives. On this play, falls in flight, arm wrapped around the back. I suspect with the benefit of replay are relatively easy.
Fajardo wishing for the call, which we get now.
After review by the replay center, pass interference, Montreal number 20. Ball will be placed at the 33-yard line.
Ooh, both coaches win their challenge.
So for
It's gonna be defensive pass interference.
you win some, you lose some.
So they go from the Montreal 54 to the Montreal 33.
Breaking
Got to see on Mark Gillum's reaction to a successful challenge, though, a little bit more annoyance and just being one of them days. With 18 points on the board for his 6-2 Edmonton Elks. Keep in mind, losses back-to-back weeks up they haven't experienced. And now Max dropped
And Fajardo passes to Mac for a touchdown
Fajardo to Boston back, turning back the clock
for 33 yards.
to their days in red, white, blue.
A magnificent throw from Cody Fajardo, but I love the job that Austin Mack did tracking this football as it's essentially coming in directly over his head. He's got defenders,
There's no point in me to put that up now.
but just calmly adjusts, follows the flight of the football as it lands softly in his hands. Made a difficult catch look very easy.
Elks fans or Austin Mack fans? Regardless, exactly. You know the history. High five to the end zone. They'll go for two. After just a minute 14 to reach the end zone. Fajardo left, then right, and trying to settle down. TJ Luther. Throw was high and away. Motion man and Ento there in the coverage.
2-point convert is incomplete.
Remaining 41-24.
So it's now 41-24, 3:57 left in the game.
Adjusting, taking that one in over his shoulder. End zone. First football since State, very familiar to the Elks number 3. Edmonton going for two to try and turn this into a two-possession football game. And
Fajardo working his eyes and then just off
Looks like that it was. Oh, okay. Ooh, you're at 65. I hear that too, and see the bear. Ooh, 56, and it's at. Oh yeah, so it hit the over. What is he at now? You'll have seven touchdowns. You'll be leading the league in with 7 touchdowns.
See there before the game, coached Phil Pott twins. Yeah, a little chatter going on there, but yeah, Jabari Arthur had the opportunity to coach the Phil Pott twins. He ran offensive the University of Calgary.
Yeah, Montreal's challenging the rule for pass interference.
Jabari, some mixed emotions, feeling a little bit of pride in the success of Tyson Phil Pott, seeing him do well, but at the same time, yeah, just cringing as they're on different sides today.
Montreal is challenging the previous play for pass interference. Play will be reviewed.
Jabari, by the way, one of my favorite guys when I was in training camp with Calgary Stampeders in 2013.
Yeah.
So we're both doing nothing. We're just standing on the sideline. Little did I know he was going to go into coaching and recruit those guys, but tremendous talent. Awesome player, great guy. He made me laugh more in 10 days. Calgary training camp with EU Sports, CFL internship. I think I ever happened.
Terrific receiver, great quarterback. And this yeah, initially went down as a quarterback, moved to receiver, ends up being the leading receiver down there. First round pick in the CFL draft, battled some injuries along the way, but certainly on his way to a great coaching career. Did a terrific job at UC, and now his first year on Mark Killen's staff here in Edmonton.
Have the call. There's Joseph McGinnis.
After review, good pass interference.
Ooh, there is defensive pass interference.
Ball in place at the 1-yard line. Automatic first down.
Montreal's 2 for 2 for their challenges.
They're celebrating by not putting the helmet on. So he's saying, you know what? I've got my work cut out.
Yeah, I don't work for Bourne.
I mean, I could, but I'm not gonna. Short yardage in for the Alouettes offense. They've already added an exclamation mark or two to this afternoon's.
So see you later, Isidore. Don't forget, we'll be back at 7 for the Tie-Cat game. And flag on the play. Penalty on Edmonton offside. So it's 2nd and 1.
Edmonton defensive line. We will replay the down at the 1-yard line.
You can see a couple of fingers just in front of the yellow stripe there.
How many times in your distinguished CFL and TSA career have you had to draw the line at the one? Recent. There's the line.
Stay behind the plane at the goal line, if you will.
Careful. Okay, we're good. Very Wilson. Off to the right-hand side. The Alouettes offense continues to rack up points.
Terry Wilson rushes in for a 1-yard touchdown.
Montreal, too many second chances.
Tertiary storyline in this Alouettes attack, but Terry Wilson taking over short yardage from Dustin Crum. Didn't have that on my bingo card for 2026 based on Crum's history.
Wilson joining the Alouettes practice roster a few weeks ago, promoted to the active roster, a guy who had filled this role with the
Taylor Powell in for the last 2 minutes and 31 seconds. This should be interesting. Powell passes to Brandon Larry Orange for 8 yards. Edmonton 51, Kennedy Jr., the third, with the tackle.
Listen, we could have talked for hours with this one about this when Jesse Walker was with us, right? But the world of amateur football, the grassroots football in Ottawa, and the players produced in that part of the country is unreal.
Powell passes to Brandon Larry Orange for 11 yards to Beverett with the tackle.
So many different minor football programs. Big shout out to Vickers Dondo and Gridiron Academy that has produced so many high-end players in the capital region.
Active in his early days in the Alouettes defense. First start back in week 9. Last week, 9 total tackles, highest single game tackle total by an Alouette this season and the TFL as you see why right there.
Exploding to the football, wrap it up, full center of gravity behind the legs, finish the tackle.
Left and then decides to escape. Pretty open, so works it, pumps, and uses his legs. Potentially the future of the Edmonton Elks on display here. Obviously, prefer to not be getting doubled up on the road. Little key to why Taylor Powell has people excited, and honestly why people in Hamilton wish they still had Taylor Powell right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy
Right.
I found very impressive in his time in Hamilton. The re-emergence of Bo Levi Mitchell basically limited his opportunity to get back on the field.
Skill set of one of those classic stories of a guy who gets to sit, learn, and develop. Checks this one underneath, and 19 puts his shoulder down and runs through the motion man. Comes up on the tackle. Like no troops a little bit late out of bounds.
Say goodnight.
Necessary roughness. Montreal number 44. 15 yards from the end of the play. First down.
Unnecessary roughness, Montreal 44. So they go from the 38 to, with the catch, to the 6.
We both love as well as taking Skylar Griffin and Isaiah Knight in the same draft with the same CFL team. Just body types and mentality.
Let's get an ear from Jason Moss. There's a flag, but Powell gets a touchdown.
Taylor Powell competing right to the end, looking for the rookie Carter Kennel at the University of Alberta, corner of the end zone.
Run to the passer. Montreal number 26. At 15 yards will be applied on the kickoff. Touchdown good.
The 15 yards roughing the passer will be applied to the kickoff.
Taylor Powell knows it's coming. He's just running laterally here to find time. This gets very easy now. He throws that football.
Seen Isaiah Smith, talk Skylar Griffin, we had Shakespeare Louis making a play for Kettle. Gets a touchdown as well. A young, rising Canadian talent.
Two division-leading teams building through the draft.
Powell, after taking the hit, stays on. They'll go for 2 once again, trying to
They go for 2 points, and it's failed.
the 7 play, 70-plus yard drive. It's just a minute 38. Powell throws it to a spot, and nobody home.
Not even close.
We get another look at the touchdown. And Powell got
7 plays for 77 yards in a minute 38.
Be nice not to have to change out your wardrobe in adversity. The pros is Davis Alexander, all smiles on the sideline as he should be. He's going to enjoy this one. Towel wrapped around the neck of Davis Alexander and no helmet in sight. It looks like Dustin Crum might be ready to play out the final seconds. Receiving the kick, Tyrell Richards. Savvy special teamer. Doesn't often get a return. Usually on the tackling end. Yes. Knows how to play the game. Dustin Crum, former Ottawa Red Flag. In his season in 2025.
Baker rushes for 9 yards to the Montreal 38. Morganson with the tackle.
And Davis Alexander rounds things out with a whopping 6 incompletions to go with those 4 touchdowns. Always a good thing when those two numbers are close. Sean Baker and a running back, he gets the touch. Nice as well. The afternoon, well earned. The Alouettes look like a full value team as we head towards the end of week number 10. Here's Mike.
Montreal team that
Baker rushes for 0 yards to the Montreal 38, so it's going to be 3rd and 1.
Rough Riders. Many people with these two teams leading their respective divisions coming in, billing this as a potential Grey Cup preview. The Alouettes perhaps sending a negative message with what turned into a fairly dominant victory.
Philpott. Smiling yet again. Continues to show that his early season pace, which admittedly we can be guilty in the media at times of, you're 2 weeks into a year. We all,
It's not me.
but no,
It's not me, it's you guys.
I love getting overly excited, irrationally excited. And then at week 2, when I go, this guy's on pace for 48 touchdowns. He's going to break Clooney's record. Usually when you get to week 10, the reality starts to set in. We're getting close to Labor Day. These teams now have identities. They have built for the first 2 months, 2.5 months of the season to get here. And like we said right off the top, as long as Tyson Philpott is healthy, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with when paired with Davis Alexander. His return comes from the Elks. Clock strikes 0 and Juwan Lake on that. His healthy season's annual combined yardage total. But Tyson Philpott plays king here in Montreal. Playing as Davis Alexander has another reason to smile. Keeps on rolling.
Yeah, and the story, not just of these two guys, you see a great ball.
So Montreal wins 48 to 30 as we take a look at the player numbers.
Alexander, Cody Fajardo, but this
Fajardo 21 for 35, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Powell 6 for 7, 55 yards, 1 touchdown. Justin Rankin 7 carries for 62 yards. Cody Fajardo 6 carries for 43 yards and a touchdown. Juwan Leak 4 carries for 13 yards, and Taylor Powell 1 carry for 7 yards. Austin Mack 9 for 13, 110 yards, 1 touchdown. Brandon and Larry Orange 6 for 7, 56 yards. DJ Luther 3 for 8 for 38 yards. Keon Julian Grant 3 for 7, 32 yards. And Isaiah Knight 2 for 2 for 20 yards. Carter Kettle 2 for 2 for 16 yards and a touchdown. Joshua Cypus 2 for 2 for 14 yards and a touchdown. Skylar Griffith 0 for 1. Nick Anderson leads the defense with 5 defensive tackles, no sacks. Terrell Ford with 2 interceptions. Vincent Blanchard went 1 for 2 for 25 yards and 2 extra points and a single. For the Montreal side, we have Davis Alexander 22 for 28, 352 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Travis Tice, 14 carries, 100 yards, 0 touchdowns. Rashawn Baker, 3 carries, 12 yards. Davis Alexander, 1 carry, 10 yards, 1 touchdown. Terry Wilson, 4 carries, 7 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyler Snead, 5 for 5 for 146 yards, 1 touchdown. Tyson Philpott, 10 for 12 for 131 and 3 touchdowns. Travis Tice, 3 for 3 for 141 yards. Cole Speaker, 4 for 7, 34 yards. Lorenzo Burns leads the way with 8 defensive tackles, no sacks. Beverett with the 1 interception. And then you have Jimon Green and Donovan Manuel with the fumble recoveries. Jose Maltos, 2 for 2 for 38 yards and 6 extra points. And then that's it for that. But we will be back at 7 o'clock for the Ticats and BC game. As Lane says, I got a feeling that Edmonton's going to fall very far down Jacob's rankings. If I had to guess, I don't know if they will fall down that much. Probably third. I can see Montreal first. Saskatchewan second. Edmonton third. Toronto fourth. And then Calgary fifth. And then depending on Winnipeg sixth, and then depending on what happens with tonight's game, will determine the other 2 spots. If I had to predict, that would be my thoughts. But I do appreciate everyone for stopping by. Join us back in less than 50 minutes as we have the Ticats and the BC Lions.